Hi, Rick and Sharon. It's Ken. Hey, after the last time I spoke with Rick on the phone regarding the solar, it was kind of nagging at me. So I wanted to get some more details and just to make things cleared up. So what I did is I reached out to the sellers and asked for a couple of actual bills to see what kind of plan they were on with the electric company APS. And a long story short, it looks like they weren't advised very well from the solar rep that sold them their solar system, and they're not on the most optimal plan for solar. They're on what's called a time advantage plan. And although the solar is still benefiting the house, it's not benefiting it as well as my solar system is because I'm on the right plan with APS. And the bad news about that is you can't change plans within APS or you lose your grandfather status, and that would just make things potentially worse. So what I wanted to at the very least do, once I found out that this solar system was set up on the time advantage plan, I wanted to see, okay, let's see if we could figure out a way to tell how much you're going to end up paying for your electric bill, and are you paying more or less than a home that you might buy without solar panels. So what I did is I had a friend of mine he's a solar representative for a company out here. He's been doing it about 6 years, and I had him come over and pull up some of the tools that they use when they're evaluating a home. Most of the time when they evaluate a home, they just ask the homeowner for the last 12 years of power bills, and they say, well, let's just design a solar panel system that will meet your needs based on what you've already used. But sometimes they go into a home that's brand new and they don't have any history, so they have to use these tools to determine what the average person in a home that size, built that year, uses for electricity. And he went in and called into his office, and they went ahead and pulled up some data and sent it to us. I gotta give me a second, my computer's running slow right now. So as soon as this next screen opens up, oh, it's just not opening. All right, I'm just going to hold my cursor over here to keep this page open. To the right of the screen there's a graph that came from the actual solar company. And what they do is, if you can read it there, it says comparable monthly usage average across 67 out of 7,482 homes. So what they're doing is, each month on that graph down there on the right, they're showing what the average person with no solar in a home, your square footage, built in 2005, what the average person uses. This is the worst people who use a lot of energy and the people who are miserly. So this will give us a good baseline. This is how much kilowatt hours they use each month. So all we did is we took the kilowatt hours, multiply it by what APS charges per kilowatt hour, and we applied it to the chart here. So if you look on this column right here, this is what the average person without solar would use each month, or would pay each month for their power. And again, we used these figures here, multiplied them by what APS charges per kilowatt hour, and basically we applied it to a dollar amount. So the average person in September is paying $424, $292, $198. Obviously it goes down as you're getting into winter, and then it comes back up to $322, $455, and $40, and so on. So what we did on this column is I actually pulled the real data, the last 12 months of the homeowner's bill. And my computer's acting up again. Hold on one second. I think I have too many screens open. Well, if you look at this one, I'm not going to move my mouse because it'll die on me. It'll get stuck again. But on the far right corner, the bill amount, the last column on the right, I took the last 12 months and literally added each month what they spent on electricity. And then I combined that with the solar payment for the panels, which is $185. We already know that. So I multiplied those, or added those two together, and I put them in this column. So these numbers are a combination of $185 plus whatever they paid for electricity that month for the whole year. You can see the difference. They actually paid a little bit less than the average person by $58 for the year. So you literally only save $58 on this solar system. The the way it's set up right now. And keep in mind, this is the current homeowner. We're concerned about whether that homeowner wastes electricity. Apparently, he keeps his thermostat at 70 degrees. We may not necessarily do that. Also, because he probably doesn't even understand what the time advantage plan is with APS, he's probably not utilizing his electricity in the right way. If you use your pool pump and your dishwasher and clothing washing, you will save money if you do those things at the right time, which is counterintuitive to if you don't have power. With this solar system, you'd actually want to do those things between noon and 7 p.m. So I'm sure they're doing the opposite, and which is costing them more money. One other thing I want to point out, right now we're basically essentially by owning this solar system, you're breaking even. You're paying about the same electricity as somebody who doesn't have solar. You will save money, I'm certain, if you start utilizing that time advantage plan properly. And keep in mind that every year, these APS bills, you're going to use the same amount of power, but these APS bills are going to go up. APS raises their rates approximately 4 to 5% per year. So in 15 years, this 424 is going to be 848. Yours will stay the same. So although you're just a little above water breaking even here, next year you'll save a little bit more. The next year you'll save a little bit more. So you have solar on this house. It's not a huge savings, but you're not losing money. And over time, you'll actually start to save some money. Probably in the next 4 or 5 years, you'll start to see even more of a savings compared to the average person who doesn't have solar and is subject to the increasing rates at APS. So I hope this helps. I wanted to make sure you were 100% clear on how this all works and how much it costs or doesn't cost, because we have to make these decisions while we're in our inspection period, and I want to make sure you're 100% clear on it. So I know I'm babbling, I apologize. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and if you're having second thoughts, I completely understand. Thankfully, from what I can see, you're still breaking even. You're not losing any money. You're just inheriting a home that has a solar system. Again, let me know if you have any questions at all. We'll talk to you guys really soon.